Mag-unbox ka ulit ba?
Depende kung ano meron.
Babalik na nila yung unbox eh.
May amoy kasi dun.
I like how yun yung reason. Wala.
1, 2...
Yung ko lang sa unbox yung Fortress yung mabaho eh. Diba?
Mas mabaho ang Fortress.
Oo nga, mabaho yung sobrang baho ng Fortress eh.
Pero doon sa player kasi minsan may amoy. Pas.
Pas lang.
No, hindi doon. Pas.
Uy, sumakto. Sumakto sila. Ay, 8 liter.
Leader effect.
Pas lang.
Seven leader. Pas.
7 seconds. Galore din on curve. Bounce. Eight.
Effect. Is leader effect.
8 ulit leader.
Tama na, dami nito. Wala lang.
Pas lang.
Bro. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Pas. Seven.
Ilan doon ka na?
6.
So dapat 7 ako. Tama naman. Bounce si Toshigi.
Tapos play forecast eh.
Yep.
Paano kung maglagay ako ng searcher? Pwede ba yun? Di all play? 7.
Pwede ata.
Pwede ba yun?
Ata. Siguro, sabihin na lang natin pwede.
Pero,
Kasi it's technically on play. Pero, kung si Hiyori yan, hindi. Kasi nakahiga na.
hindi natin yun lang.
Sige.
Ito na lang.
Okay. 7, leader. Eight, leader. Pass.
You can't explode that. You need that for
Meron ba ako? Wala pa. Nine. Pwede ka mag-search pa. Hindi, turn ko lang yun. Ah, okay.
Leader.
Ay, no?
Wait lang. 9 ba?
9.
Sa
8K.
Wala lang.
ito na ko yung mga chop. Isa lang nakuha ko buong laro. Guys.
6 leader. Tapos nag-miss pa yung isang mga switch.
Lagi na lang. Saka hirap din pag wala yung chopper talaga. Ano ratio
9 leader.
animal mo dyan? Ito. Tatlo lang.
Bakit? That's long.
Hindi ko naman kasi kailangan yun eh.
Okay.
Ang importante naman kasi yung palapag ko. Eh, magawa ko yung combo na ganyan. Tapos tapag dito ito or
Ano yung isang cover blocker mo?
ito lang. Wala akong proxy. Puro
Dapat meron ka ng isa?
oh yun nga, yung may kailangan baby. Hirap din. Hirap wala mo yun.
Mahirap mahanap.
Sobra. Baby kasi wala nag-google lang. Kapal natin.
Pasa life.
Right here. Hello.
Can rush ang puta.
9 leader.
Shit.
Nine leader. Pass.
Hi, Josh.
Ganun. So, pero hindi kompleto to, wala akong mihok. Medyo ka kay Ben ko.
Oo. Ayos lang yun. Ang mga build nga na walang miyok talaga eh.
Yung may ito, yung 2K.
Ah, yung 2K.
Oo, ito.
Akala ko yung miyok na 8 cost.
Wala. Parehong wala. Parehong walang mihok. Medyo ka kay Ben ko.
6 leader.
Hi, guys. Happy birthday.
7 leader.
Hi, guys. Hi, everyone. Hi, Alvin. Good luck in your wins tournament. Yeah, you got this. Bye, Sir Irvin. Bye, guys.
Boxing na lang siguro yung mihok. Sayang sa yun.
6 leader.
Kailangan niya.
Pero hindi ko siya nakikita. Hindi ko siya nalalapit madalas.
Hindi mo siya alam.
Pag 3 dogs.
Pag 3 dogs,
Neither.
paano lalapag ng 3 dogs? Ang pas ka lang?
All in.
All in.
8 leader. All in. Pero pwede rin naman. Pwede rin naman yung miyok Zoro combo.
Hand size.
Miyok 7. Ay, miyok. Tapos Zoro na 4 cost. Tapos santo ka siya.
Can we do this? Dalawang blocker, isang
Wala din ako
buhay.
sa 6. Oo eh.
Kahit wala
6 leader.
Nakalimutan ko. Nakalimutan ko. Nakalimutan ko. Nakalimutan ko.
7.
Nakalimutan ko.
Paano sa'yo? Oo. Ako socially sa puro bit eh.
12.
Ako rin.
Tatayo lang ako.
Tao.
13.
Papasok ko 5. Hindi yung lista.
Ah, tapos mali ako. Tapos nag-iwan na lang ako ng doon.
5 ulit.
Oo.
Kamali.
Abot ba pagka may ano?
Dalawang kami kaya. Tapos may 2K pa ako.
Yeah.
Kaya. Misplay.
And we're back again today with a new leader, Red Blue Ace from OP13. Right from the get-go, I kind of figured out this would be my go-to deck for the new format, purely because of its ability to just keep on drawing cards, and so far I've found that to be mainly true. So, for those who may not know, what this leader does is two things. From the red aspect, once per turn during your opponent's attack, you may discard one card and give one of your opponent's leader or characters minus 2000 power, which basically means any brick in your hand can turn into at least a 2k counter. And on the blue side, Dawn times 1, if you take damage or one of your characters gets KO'd, whether through battle or effect, and that character has 6000 power or more, you get to draw a card. And the fact that this leader is just 3 life isn't really a huge disadvantage, because as you'll see later, it has a lot of ways to stay alive and get to 10 Dawn, where it really shines. But without further ado, let's go to the deck list first. Starting off, Edward Newgate from OP13, 10 cost, 12,000 power, no counter. It is a blocker that has the on-play ability of drawing 2 cards, trashing 1 cards, and then you get to give 2 rested Dawn each to 2 of your characters or leader. In my opinion, out of all the Edward Newgate cards that have been printed so far, this one generates the most value because it not only draws you card but also ramps up your offensive capabilities. Not to mention, it's a big body blocker. Next, we have also Edward Newgate from OP08. 10 cost, also 12,000 power. On play, if your life is at 2 or less, and you have a leader with a Whitebeard Pirates type, on your opponent's next turn, when their character attacks, they have to first pay a cost of 2 cards from their hand per attack. So one thing to note, this only affects characters and not the leader, but it's still very good at keeping the repeat attackers at bay. So if you can imagine characters that restand, such as 9 cost Zoro, the starter deck 22 Odin, for each attack they will have to pay 2 cards. And if your opponent doesn't have enough cards in their hand, that means they don't get to attack. Which is also why locally this card is affectionately called Taxbeard. From OP09, we have 2 copies of Goldie Roger that has a rush attack, and it's just an excellent overall endgame finisher. At any point during your attacks, not just from Goldie Roger, if anyone is at 0 life and your opponent activates a blocker during your attack, you automatically win. So it forces your opponent to just try and defend by countering, which usually at that point they might not have enough. Next, another new card from OP13, one of the 3 secret cards, Portgas the Ace, 6 cost, 7k power, no counter. If your leader has a Whitebeard Pirates type, this character gains Rush. Then on play, give a rested Dawn to your leader or one of your characters. Then you get to bounce one of your opponent's 5 cost or less characters back to their hand. Then they get to play out a 4 cost or less. Depending on the situation, this card may or may not be useful. I find that I'm 50-50 between using its effect to bounce or not. Some decks opt for the 6 cost Yamato from EB02, but for now, I'm keeping this card here mainly because this card is more searchable than the Yamato. Then right beside him is Jozu from OB08, 6 cost 7k power 1k counter. On play, return one of your characters to your hand, then you get to bounce another character that's 6 cost or less back to the owner's hand. Then we have Yamato from OP13, 5 cost 6k power 1k counter. On play, draw 2 cards and attach 1 rested Dawn to your leader or one of your characters. Next is one of my favorite new cards from PRB02, Marco. 4 cost, 6k power, no counter. It is a blocker that has the ability to, on KO, draw 2 cards. Now, for most cards, the draw 2 cards is already enough value, but in the Ace deck, because of the leader ability, you end up drawing 3 cards instead of just 2. From starter deck 22, the 8 cost event, I Am Whitebeard, you get to play out an Edward Newgate card from your hand. Then you have the option of taking the top or bottom card of your life and add 2000 plus power to your leader until the end of your opponent's next turn. You can choose not to take life, but it depends on the situation. Essentially, what this card does is you get to play out your big boss 1 turn earlier. Next, we have 2 versions of the Ezo Searcher, one from starter deck 22, the other from OP03. They both search the top 5 cards of your deck and get you a Whitebeard Pirates type card. Now, the blue Ezo from starter deck 22 also has the ability of being able to cycle one of your card hands. Now, normally you'd see 4 copies of this card, but in my case, I only had 2 copies, so I ended up splitting it between the 2. Then another new searcher card from OP13, Monkey D. Garp. 1 cost, 2k power, 1k counter. On play, it searches the top 4 cards of your deck for a 4 cost or more card. There is no restriction as to what type that card is, whether it's a character, an event, a stage, and there are no archetypes. The only restriction it has is the 4 cost or more, which, as you can see from this current deck list, is pretty much all of the main cards except for the searchers. Also, this card isn't leader or type locked, which means it can be used in practically any red deck. On the bottom row, we have our 2k counters and our tech cards. So first up, we have Uta from Start Deck 23, the Shanks deck. 6 cost, 4k power, 2k counter. It is a blocker with the ability of if you have a 10,000 power or more character in play, this card gains minus 4 cost in your hand. So as long as you have one of your big bodies in play, then you can play this card out for 2 cost. And at the same time, it's not as easily rested or KO'd by the removal cards that are available right now. Then we have our second 2k counter, Otama from OP13. 1 cost, 0 power. On play, you get to draw 2 cards and trash 1 card. Jozu, 4 cost, 4k power, 2k counter. Then Dawn times 1. If you have 2 life or less and your leader is a Whitebeard Pirates type, this character gains Rush. Now, usually I would just play this out as a 2k counter, but there are situations where a Rush character might be crucial. Now, the last 2 tech cards are probably staples in any blue deck. We have Charlotte Pudding from OP06, 4 cost, 4k power, 1k counter. On play, your opponent shuffles their entire hand into their deck and draws 5 cards. Finally, we have Gum Gum Red Rock, a 6 cost event that bottom decks one of your opponent's characters. It also has a trigger of being able to bottom deck any of your opponent's 4 cost or less characters. Depending on who you ask, the curve of this deck might vary between going first and going second. Personally, I just prefer going first, because that means with most of the cards that I play out, I get to have 1 Dawn left to attach to my leader. The real strength of this deck comes with its ability to, as I mentioned, to draw cards. As you ramp yourself up to get to 10 Dawn, or at least 8 or 9 Dawn, where you're able to play out the 8 cost event to cheat out the new gate 1 turn earlier. Then it's just a matter of stalling and building up your board until you're within striking range. It's kind of interesting to see, though, how there's a sort of triangle in the current meta that involves this Ace Leader, Emu, and Green Zoro from OP12. Of course, my deck list isn't the definitive deck list. It all depends on your own style, and this is just how I like to play it. So, yeah, that's it for now. I think for this leader, I don't need to tell you to check it out. It's one of the more prominent ones. But let me know if you think there are changes that I could make, or if there are any plays that I think we could do with this deck. And if there's any leader or deck that you'd want to see us try out, let me know in the comments, and we can talk about it. But for now, bye.